All right, for this business video, I want to talk about a Sufi saint who enjoyed using a rock for a pillow. Hi, this is Mark Silver with Heart of Business, and there's a Sufi saint named Rabi'a of Basra who lived some hundreds of years ago and very well known in the Sufi Islamic tradition. And she was known for putting her complete faith in the divine, and she lived a very simple life, and one of the things she was known for was using a rock for a pillow. Now, the way that our culture is constructed, Western culture in general, and those of us that maybe didn't originate in Western culture are still unfortunately affected by it because of colonialism and such. There is this unconscious belief that lives in the culture that when something is difficult, it is good, or when something is painful, it is good. And this is, I don't want to spend time tracing the history of that, but it's there, and you may recognize it. So, when we are seeking to do business, this can really deeply affect the choices we make, because we may embrace that unconsciously and say, gosh, it's supposed to be hard, it's supposed to be difficult, and so if it's not difficult, it's not working. And or we may reject it and pick only easy things to do, only things that are fun. And let's make a discernment between fun and joy. This is going to get deep. I don't have time. We don't want to take hours with this. But I think you can taste what I'm talking about, which is this difference between something where there's a joyful sense in the heart versus, oh, everything's fun and easy, you know. I believe that a lot of business could use a lot more joy and ease. And sometimes we do have to stretch. But where the experience of Rabi'a of Basra comes in is that as a saint, I think we have to understand that she did not say, I want to become a saint, and so therefore I am going to go get a rock for a pillow and subject myself to really terrible sleep and neck aches and headaches until I become a saint. That is not what happened. Instead, what happened was she had a journey to the divine where she lived with a deep intimacy with the divine all the time. She was a saint. And when she chose a rock for her pillow, she was experiencing the presence of divine love in that rock. That rock was as soft and full of love and care as the softest, most luxurious 5-star pillow bed combination you could imagine. This is what the teachings describe. She was not in pain. She was not lost. She was not suffering. She enjoyed the rock because she could sense the presence of the divine in it. She said, this also is the source of love. It's really profound. I can't do that. I have been able to sense love in some pretty unlikely places, and that has made my experience and my journey a lot easier in many ways. So what I'm wanting to invite you into with your business, whoa, look, the sun came in, I walked out of shadow, is I want you to not look for the difficult things, but one, see if you are choosing difficult things unconsciously because they are somehow quote unquote better, or that's what you're supposed to do. And if you discover that in any particular instance, stop it, to the best of your ability. We're all caught in different psychological pains. But two, if you're facing something in your business that is difficult, and you know that you have to face it. You know that it has to be dealt with. I want you to take some time with it instead of being in struggle with it or being collapsed into the pain of it. I want to invite you to really be with it and say and ask, is love available even here? Is the divine present even here? I did this with clients and with myself. And when we start to look at the quote unquote rocks that they're sleeping on in their business, so to speak, sometimes they discover that it wasn't a necessary thing. Like they could just discard it and not do it that way anymore. They could do it in some way that was a lot easier or more joyful. And sometimes they discover that, yeah, this is something that does need to be faced. But oh my goodness, when the love is present, it is so different. And begin to find pathways through it and ways to be in relationship with it that are so much more nourishing and powerful and effective. That's what I wanted to say. Be like Rabi'a of Basra. Not because you sleep with a rock for a pillow, but because you're in the journey of finding love in absolutely everything. Peace and blessings.